Özel röportajla karşınızdayız. beIN Sports basketbol ekibinin konuğu Ioannis Sfairopoulos. Ioannis Sfairopoulos daha önce Olympiakos'ta EuroLeague şampiyonluğu yaşamış. Sonrasında Maccabi Tel Aviv'in başında yer almış önemli bir EuroLeague koçu. Şu anda da EuroLeague Antrenörler Birliği İkinci Başkanlığı görevini sürdürüyor. Dimitris Itoudis'in yardımcısı olarak. Ioannis Sfairopoulos İstanbul'a geldi ziyarete. Biraz onunla hem basketbolu konuşacağız hem de EuroLeague'de son dönem nasıl gidiyor biraz onları detaylı konuşacağız. Coach, welcome to Istanbul.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation. Istanbul is very beautiful.
Istanbul is very beautiful, but you came here a lot of times. But I know you personally that you don't like to go out from your hotel when you come to the games. But is it your first time actually in Istanbul as a tourist?
Yes, yes. You are right that when we come to play a game, always I don't go out of the hotel, just to go to the gym, practice and go back, and then for the game, and then to the airport. So what I saw till now was from the bus. Now I have the chance because I came here as a tourist, but also for some, to watch the games and some business for our EuroLeague head coaches board. But I have the chance for a few hours of tourism, and I saw the city.
How was, you went to Grand Bazaar area today,
Yes,
how was it?
It was wonderful, amazing. Yes, very beautiful area, and you can find everything, whatever you would like. Very traditional area from what I can understand, and it's very beautiful.
You will see Bosporus today, I know, and it's going to be great too.
Yes,
so
yes.
let's have the feeling of Istanbul more. So, Coach, you had a good term in Maccabi. You had a great connection with the fans. It started pretty well, but of course, like every story, it came to an end. So, how was your Maccabi era? How would you feel? Because you had a lot of changes over there, but what was the main feeling in those years?
First of all, it was a great honor for me to coach Maccabi because it's a traditional basketball club and big time legendary club in basketball. And for me, I enjoy a lot to coach in Maccabi because the mentality of the club fits a lot with my mentality, the winning mentality. And from the very first moment, I got connected with the club, with the fans, with everybody around the team. To me, I have always great memories from Maccabi, and the fans, I got a lot of love, and I think that the way that Maccabi fans loved me and still love me, and also I love them, of course, I will never find it again. It was something unique.
Is it important for a coach? Because you also worked in Olympiakos, which is an incredible club with tradition and history, but also they have incredible fans. So Olympiakos, Maccabi, I know that you have a lot of offers, but is it a factor for you when you're choosing your next team that I want to go to a team where I have a huge which have a huge fan base?
Whenever you want to succeed, you need to have three good parameters. One is stability in the ownership. The second is good conditions around the team, to the active part of the team. I mean, quality of players, good conditions around the team for the players to support the players, let's say, with the right stuff, with the machines. We play 80 games now, and we need to have all the equipment around to have the players ready to play. And the third is the fans, because if you have fans, you have power to move on and to succeed in your goals. I think these three dimensions gives to a team a big power to succeed.
You were always the opponent of Turkish teams in your career, but you don't have that. Turkish fans love you, and you don't have any negative history with the Turkish fans. So how do you rate the fans in Turkey? Obviously Fenerbahce has a huge fan base as a sports club, but also you played against different Turkish teams too.
Yes.
And Efes in recent years, they have much more fans on the stands So, what do you think of Turkish fans and Turkish
First of
basketball?
all, I think the Turkish fans are always supporting their team and they are always in favor of the teams. And to me, it's very important. They are very noisy during the games to support their teams. I remember when we played the final here in Istanbul with Olympiacos against Fener. It was very hard to talk on the bench from the loud noises and shouting of the fans. It was very hard to communicate. It was one of the hottest arenas that I ever played in my career so far. So I believe that this is for the good of the teams, and I think that they know basketball and they want the basketball teams to succeed. And yes, it's as you said, you know, I have always the respect to the opponents, to the fans of the opponent teams. So we have good relationship. I have good relationship with all the fans, also in Turkey.
In 2017, you reminded me about that final. I wouldn't, thought of talking about this, but in 2017 final, that year Olympiacos, nobody expected Olympiacos to be in the final.
Yes.
But then you came here and beat CSKA, which is incredible, you know, one of the best games of EuroLeague final for history. And then you went to the final. So was it a factor that, okay, we did our job, you know, did it like a motivation thing?
No. When you play a final, and this is what we discussed inside the team those days, that when you play the final, you never know if you will play again a final in your career. Players, coaches, you don't know. And that's why you go out to fight as best as you can. But I think Fener in those days was really powerful as a team with great roster, great coach, great organization behind the team all these years.
And you were on the road.
Yes, and they play in Istanbul, so it was very hard for whoever would be the opponent of Fener in that game to win in that game. It was very hard.
So what do you think about the new format of the EuroLeague with the league round? You know, you have a lot of games and league champions or Final Four teams, let's say, including the league and the other cups, they play 80, 85, sometimes 90 games per season. So it changed a lot in coaching-wise. What does it change?
First of all, you don't have time to practice. And maybe we want to stimulate the EuroLeague with the NBA with a lot of games and a short period of time with many games. Let's say you play 5 games in 12 days, let's say. So, but to tell you the truth, the European style of basketball is completely different. We don't have the same conditions as in NBA. And from this point of view, you can understand that we try to save the players not to get injured. And we are more focused now during practices. First of all, we don't practice a lot because we have game, travel, next day game. So
you're talking about not even 2 practices a day, you know, not even 1 practice a day sometimes.
Sometimes we didn't practice. We didn't have time to practice because you play Tuesday and Thursday, let's say the double week, you have to travel, you arrive in the city that you have to play 10 o'clock at night, I don't know, because it's a difficult trip, and then next day you go for a shoot around, but we don't count this as a practice, regular practice, so you go for the shoot around and then the game. So you understand that we try to teach to the players through the video. So I was saying to the players that was a new, that let's say the video session now, it's like practice. It's not like it used to be before. Let's say, okay, you pay attention, you don't pay attention, we will do this, what we watch on the video, we will do it on practice. Now you need to watch it on the video, correct it, the mistake or the good, and then put it on your game. That means that the video sessions are very important now, and a lot of times these are the only practices that we are doing.
So rather than complex sets, many what I see from outside as a basketball viewer, many coaches try to simplify their tactics. Is it correct?
Yes, because you don't have a lot of time to practice. The players need also to rest during summertime. They have obligations with the national teams, and this cut down all the pre-season period that you can build your tactics. So you have less period to build it now, and you know, as simple as you make it, the better is for the players to get inside of them and then to play all together. Because the most important thing for me and for all of most of our colleagues, my colleagues, is that you have to find your chemistry, your roles, and to succeed on that, you need to make everything simple. And when you have a team a lot of years that they know how to play together, they know your philosophy, then maybe you can add step by step, you can add different type of tactics in your game.
But also you have to have a clear hierarchy in your roster, right?
Yes, yes.
Your leader, your role players.
Yes, this is what I like to do, because with this way everybody knows his role. The players understand what the coach needs from them through the role that you give them. And this is the easiest way everybody to have part in the team, and everybody to put his good parts of his skills for the common goal, to succeed for the team success.
But you also give a lot of value into local players, because when I see, okay, Olympiacos, you were playing with young Greek guys in the roster, so like it was important for you that you have a role, you give a role to them. But then Maccabi, because Israeli basketball in recent years, okay, now they have Deni Avdia, Tamir Blad, these kind of new guys, they're coming with this under-20 champion team. But there were not a lot of young players from Israeli. And then when you go to Maccabi, you played Deni Avdia, Yovel Zosman, John Di Bartolomeo. There are many different examples of it. And they became real EuroLeague. Okay, Avdia is an NBA talent, but real EuroLeague players.
Yes, you are right, because my philosophy is that when you work in a country, you need to trust the local players, because the local players are the players that they will keep the team alive, let's say, and stable in the moments of crisis. Because this is how I learn from other coaches, from other situations. Let's say when I was assistant coach in Olympiacos, from 2005 till 2008, we played against Panathinaikos with Zeljko Obradovic.
Duda Ivkovic was the...
No, I was not with Duda. I was with
Yanaki,
with Pini Gerson,
yes,
with Jonas Kazlauskas.
Yes.
I started with these three coaches. I was in Olympiacos these 3 years. We tried to win Panathinaikos. Panathinaikos had the best Greek players of Greek national team. It was very hard. Of course, good Americans, because you add in your squad, except the local players, the Americans are also very important. But the base is the local players. This is what I saw. And we tried to break it, and we couldn't find good Greek players. So we signed all the young Greek players in that period, in 2005. I'm talking about 2005. Then I went to CSKA Moscow, assistant coach of Jonas Kazlauskas. We had the best Russian players: Kirilenko, Zved, Hryapa, Kaun, Voronsevich. We have the best Russian players of national team, and that's why this team succeeded. And to me, when I came back in Greece, I tried to, as a head coach, let's say, of Olympiacos, I had the best Greek players in that moment. I had Spanoulis, Prindesis, Lukas, Manzaris. Papanikolaou came later.
Yes.
He was in NBA. Papapetru. I put Papapetru and Agravanis, 19 years old, to play.
And that season, I remember at the beginning of the season, you were thinking of signing one more big player. But then you didn't sign, and you stayed with Agravanis. And then Agravanis had a really good Final Four.
Yes,
he also was a factor in Final Four.
You know, the story with Agravanis was that I was, before Olympiacos, I coached Panionios in Eurocup.
I know.
So Agravanis was 17 to 18 years old. And we had one Serbian player that he was in front of him, and one American player. So he was the third small forward in the team. So when I I went November in the team. I didn't start the season. I went November. I found the roster. So when I saw that Agravanys is really talented and he had very good potential, I was very honest with the Serbian player. I went to him. I said, "Listen, I have the young guy. I want to push him. I have to cut you. Sorry, we are professionals." He said, "Coach, I can understand. You do your job." He was very polite to me. I was very honest to him and polite. So I cut one foreigner to put Agravanys to play when he was 17, 18 years old in Panionios. Then I stayed one more year in Panionios, but this year Olympiakos signed Agravanys. And then I found Agravanys again when I went to Olympiakos.
Yeah.
So I mean that sometimes when you see that a local player deserves, he has the potential and deserves to play, you give him the chance to play. When I'm saying deserves, means that he has the good mentality, he's hard worker, he's humble. You understand all this stuff that you can understand as a coach that he has potential to be a very good high-level player.
You look at the character more than the talent, right? Because what you said are more about mental.
Sometimes more. Sometimes I like also to build, let's say, the mentality of the players, to change the mentality of the players, to put them in the right way, to make them understand more that basketball is more than a game. It's a game, of course, but if you want to be first, if you want to succeed, you need to do special things, more things. And this is how I try to convince my players to do the extra things, to
make the difference with those small details.
Yes, and to watch the things from a different perspective, to make them understand that they need to, in general, to work and to be part of a different world, let's say, the world of champions. And this is how I'm trying to build them, as also mentally. But you are right that the character is very important, and mental toughness is also character. It's not only the personality, it's also if you have big ego, let's say, if you are selfish. Okay, we count these things.
So, what do you think of the foreign rules in different leagues? Do you believe in limitation? It should be a limitation or not? What do you think of this?
The foreign
rule in the league. Let's say in Turkish league, out of 12 players, you can only play with five foreign players. Something like that. In every league they have different rules.
Yes.
In Greece, different. Italy 6, Greece 6 also. What do you think of this rule? Do you think it helps young players to grow, or do you think it gives a comfort zone to younger players that they get paid more?
I will give you an example. In Israel, when I went my first year, we had the Russian rule. The Russian rule says that 2 players those days from Israel, they should play all the time in starting line.
3 plus 2. We had it in Turkey too. Yes.
In the 5. Then then after 1 year, 2 years, they change it and they make it 1 player.
4 plus 1.
4 plus 1. And
but what about the roster?
The roster, you can have, if you have more than 5, the limit was 4. If you want to have 5, you pay some extra money, like a penalty, and you can have 5. You can use 5. But then if you have 7, 8 players, I don't know, like Maccabi, you rotate them. You can use only 5.
Yes.
And these 5, you have to declare them
at the same time.
Yes, you have to declare the lineup the day before the game.
Oh, 1 day before.
7 o'clock in the afternoon. The latest, you have to declare, to register your team.
What happens if there's an injury or disease?
Yes, injury or somebody sick, you don't play him next day.
Wow.
That was tough. Yes, but I want to say that the Russian rule, they put it to help the Israeli players to improve. But I don't believe that the Russian rule is improving the players. Because the Russian rule, when you know that you have always your spot in the team because of this rule, you don't work as much as you can, let's say, to overcome some other players to find your spot in the team. I will give you an example. How in Greece we create, let's say, players like Spanoulis, Diamandidis, Papaloukas, let's say, top-level players. They had to play as young against top-level foreigners. And there was not any Russian rule in Greece. And they had to practice and to compete against high-level players. And if you want to grow them, this is the easiest way to grow, to let them play against the good players without any protection, because you don't protect them with this way. It goes opposite way. And this is my opinion. Let's say that the rules, to conclude, the rules are good when they are effective. When they are not effective, I don't know how much we need these rules. But from the other side, I can say that to have different rules in every country, it's very, how to say, difficult for the, it's not good for the sport. It's not good for the sport.
Also, I agree with you on the foreign rule, because we had this, you call it Russian rule,
Yes.
We had this in Turkey, 3+2. And then we removed that. It was 6 foreigners in 12-man roster,
Yes.
but then we declined it to 5 foreigners in 12-man roster. But also, if someone gets a Turkish passport to play in Turkish national team,
Yes.
like Scotty Wilbekin, Shane Larkin, Bobby Dixon,
Yes.
these players also can play as local players.
Yes.
But the +2, +1 now in Turkey, there's a debate that should we do 4+1, because they think that Turkish players, they don't get a lot of responsibility in their teams. But the problem is, when you look at the math, when you look at the statistics, we already have a unseen 4+1 rule.
Yes,
They already
yes.
play more than 40 minutes.
Look, in general, I believe that there are only few coaches that they like to play only with foreigners.
Yeah.
Most of the coaches, they use the local players. But let's say this is the most important, how the coach approach the game and how the coach approach his philosophy about using the players. As I said, my mentality is that we have to have the base from local players. And I think, especially when you don't have, let's say, big budgets like now in Greece, that it's the economical crisis hurt also basketball. And let's say the last couple of years, the budgets are very low. This is a great chance for the Greek teams to push the young generations of Greek players to play.
But
I don't see this.
They have to choose. This is the problem also with Turkey. They have to choose, the clubs have to choose that we are a team that breeds young players.
Yes.
We improve young
Yes.
players. But everyone chooses to be the competitive side.
Yes. Because I think also in Turkey and in Greece, we want the immediate result. We are not patient. So we have to be a little more patient, because when you have a program that doesn't last 1 year, but it lasts, let's say, for 3 years, you build a team for 3 years, for 5 years. So you need it's a process, and it's a process that doesn't have always wins in the menu. So to build players, this sometimes is against the result. And if we know this, we will be more patient. The owners, the fans, and all the system around, the journalists. And we need to protect all this procedure, all of us, the basketball people, so that we will have new production of local players.
It's very interesting, because we have a lot of similarities.
Yes.
Looking to life. We have Greece and Turkey.
Yes.
We're friends for many
Of
years, even though some people say the otherwise. But
Yes.
what I see from outside is like we don't. It's very tough to give up that dream to win today.
Yes.
We are very, we want the energy now, we want to win now, but it doesn't happen, because there is only one winner in every year in the league.
I agree, but
It's
we
not
must
about
not,
coaches, it's not about fans.
You
it's
play
about,
always to win.
Yeah.
You play always to win, and you do your maximum to win. You don't go to play, and because you have 2 or 3 young players, you say, okay, I play to lose. No, you play to win. But if you lose, you are prepared to react with the right way. This is the most important. Yeah. How you react after a loss. Because if you are always frustrated and then you don't know what you are trying to do. You understand what I mean?
And there are a lot of Greek coaches here in Turkey this season. Dimitris Itoudis, Andreas Pistiolis and Dimitris Priftis are 3 head coaches. Stefanos Dedas was also a head coach. Now he's an assistant of Fenerbahce. So there are a lot of Greek coaches here. Why do you think this happens? You know, your population is not that high, but we see a lot of Greek coaches, not only in Turkey, but also in worldwide.
Look, I think the last 10 years there was a production of Greek coaches that they came out of the country to coach. And a lot of coaches succeeded because the Greek league was very demanding. Mm-hmm. And we learned from the best coaches of Europe that came to coach in Greece. A lot of
Duda Ivkovic, Željko Obradovic, David Blatt,
yes,
Pini Gershon,
yeah. All the Jonas Kazlauskas, all the different schools, basketball schools, they came in Greece and they coach. So we study how they play, how they do the things. Then the conditions in Greece are not easy with the pressure that they put on the teams. You need to be ready to play with under pressure, to coach under pressure. So this is a big school. Greece was a big school for all of us. And I think we have this, because we were involved in this situation, this, conditions, we became very tough and we have a good reputation as Greek coaches now all over Europe.
But how did it help for Greek coaches to improve themselves? Because I like to go to coaching clinics a lot.
Yes.
And in every coaching clinic that I go for many years, I see some Greek coaches from smaller divisions, lesser divisions, and let's say 2 or 3 coaches, not that they have a lot of money budget in their pockets, yes, but they stay in the same hotel room. I saw a lot. So how does it happen? How did this culture came from?
I think we love basketball, all of us. Let's say you talk about young coaches. I was like them when I started. I remember I started 1986-87 season, and 88 I went in pre-Olympic tournament in Holland, in Amsterdam, and it was Hubie Brown, the best coach of NBA, that came first time overseas to talk in a clinic, to attend this clinic. I was 21 years old. So you understand that.
Did you have a lot of money to go to Poland?
No, but my parents supported me. I saved money, from here, from there, my salary, and I went there. So we want to invest and we love basketball, and we have this, tradition that we want to learn as coaches. And let's say we have also the clinic of Greek Basketball Coaches Association this summer after the COVID period. Before it was Zoom, but now it was in person. And we had 600 coaches from 2000. We are not like in Turkey that you have, let's say, 7,000-8,000 coaches. We have 2,000 members, licenses, and 600 were there.
In the clinic.
In the clinic. So you understand that it was full, and it's nice. We love basketball, and I think basketball fit a lot to Greek people.
Yeah. How important for Turkey, talking about now, I think it will be a good example for young Turkish coaches watching. How important for Turkey to host EuroLeague coaching clinic?
Yes,
because,
I think it's very
the second
important.
time. Last year we were there in Antalya.
Thank you for the question, because it's very important what we've done as EuroLeague Head Coaches Board, that we bring our congress here in Turkey. And the first one was in Badalona before the pandemic. Yes. After the pandemic, the first one was here in Antalya last summer. And we want to do it again here in Antalya, in Turkey, in Antalya, this summer also. We will do it. So it's very important for us, and I think for all Turkish coaches to come and listen from EuroLeague coaches, whatever the clinic is very important, and whatever we will try to help them, we will try to give them ideas and suggestions and our knowledge and our experience. And I think they have only to win from this if they will come. I hope that they will be more than last year.
So you say like 86 Ioannis starts saving money from there to there.
Yes.
I know economically it's not easy for coaches, but
also in Greece the economical situation is not good. It's a little better than, let's say, 5 years ago, but still we are the time is not easy for everybody. But if you love something, I think you will find a way how to do it.
Yeah.
When you love your girlfriend and the parents doesn't allow to go to see her, you will find a way to see her.
But also, Gloria is a great arena. You know, Gloria Golf Resort is a great place. It's not only that we have the clinics, but we also have, because you talk about the girlfriend, and I remember my wife was also there.
Yes, Gloria Arena, not only the arena, all the facilities are excellent there. I've never been till last summer because it didn't happen with my club to come to for the pre-season tournaments there that they organize really well. And but I think that there are amazing the facilities, the hotels, and all the things that you need for your coaching and your even the teams for the clubs is excellent there. But also for the clinic is excellent to be there, and I want to thank also Gloria Hotels and all the organization that gives us the chance to make it one more time in Antalya.
What about this situation with EuroLeague Coaches Board? Now the management has changed. Željko Obradović was the president. Now the new president is Dimitris Itoudis, and you are the vice president here. What do you want to change in EuroLeague coaching, or why do we have a EuroLeague Coaches Board?
First of all, I want to say that Željko Obradović and as a president and Pablo Lasso as vice president, they started a really good job, and they organize us as a board, and I think it's very important us to have this board because we can protect the basketball. We are like coaches, we concern about basketball, and we concern about all problems that we have in basketball, and we have solutions because we are involved in the teams. We guide. We are the leaders. We are the people who guide the teams, and I think our opinion is very important. And our union gives us this right to express our opinion and to influence with a positive way all the time the new era in basketball, always thinking about the best for the sport. And to me, having this union is very important, and as many coaches we will be and we will have, our voice will be stronger. That's why now when Dimitris Itoudis is the president and myself the vice president, we are trying to do one more step to expand the union with having with us also the assistant coaches of EuroLeague, the EuroCup head coaches, and the EuroCup assistant coaches. And in the future, after this step, we want to get involved also coaches out of EuroLeague, not only EuroLeague, also Champions League and EuroCup, and all coaches that they want to get involved. So for us, this is very important because through our union, we also have our academy that we teach to young coaches for a period of 6-7 months with the cooperation of the University of Belgrade. We teach them everything about basketball, and we give them the knowledge and our experience, giving them a diploma. And then we have also our congress every summer that we have our clinics, and everybody can attend, coaches from all over the world. We had last year in Antalya, we had coaches from 45 different countries. So that was very important for us. And I hope that, let's say in the past when I started to coach, I was trying to find the VHS tapes from US to learn basketball through college games and NBA games. Nowadays the knowledge is everywhere, but we want to give our knowledge and mainly our experiences, because EuroLeague is the top European level.
So you will also give some
interactions to the young coaches and advices, and we have more personal approach to them. We have dinners together, we have meetings together, we exchange our opinions, mails, and we have contact also after the. So we want to improve the knowledge to the coaches. We want to give our knowledge. What basketball gave to me and to us, we want to give them back.
Yeah, that's great that Turkey is hosting it. It's really important to me. And I hope we will see more and more Turkish coaches like you. Someday maybe we'll see 3 Turkish head coaches in Greece coaching Greek teams.
I hope. Turkish coaches are improving, I think. But I remember when I was with PAOK 1997-98 in Bormio, all Turkish teams there were we were playing tournaments. And I met a lot of good Turkish coaches also from these days.
Yeah, let's see how it's going to happen. So, not only coaches, but also a lot of Greek teams, Greek players, and here in Turkey, especially with Fenerbahçe, you see Nikolatis is the leader, and now we have Kostas Antetokounmpo signing with Fener. So, how do you see Fenerbahçe? They started pretty well, and then after the injuries, they declined.
I think
they're still at the top of the EuroLeague as we record this.
Yes. Look, to me, to tell you the truth, how they started, it was very unique and I can say unusual, because...
Let's say surprising.
Surprising, because nobody would expect a new team with a lot of new players, with new coach, that the coach was with the national team of Greece and came late, and they had... good assistant, Stefanos Dedas, that he knows the Turkish mentality and the Turkish league and everything. But in general, let's say the conditions, how they started, didn't give us the impression from the beginning, before the game started, that they would have so good approach and so good games and so many wins. I think now that they are hurt a lot from injuries, and but it's also normal when you have, let's say, a period that you start really well and you have a small gap, because all teams are like that. The EuroLeague now is 10 months, and I think that you cannot have stability of performances for 10 months. This is very unrare and very unusual. So the most important thing for me now is how Fener will put back these injured players and they will find again their good rhythm.
What about Efes? Back-to-back champions?
Yes, Efes deserve to win, and Coach Ataman said that, I remember him that how disappointed was when the league stopped because of the pandemic, and he was right. I think the 2 teams that hurt most was first Efes, that they were first and they were ready to win till the end. And then Maccabi, that we succeeded to qualify to the playoffs after 5 years, and the league stopped. So I think that Efes is doing a great job lately, last years, and they have very good coach, the very experienced players. They have players with talent and great roster and good chemistry, I think. They put new blood, I think, in those days. I think the new players, the players that they come to the system, to the program of the team, need a little time to adjust, but that's why they have some up and downs. But at the end of the day, I think when the time will come, they will be ready like in the previous year.
Yeah, last 2 years they had 17 losses and 14 losses, but they still managed to win the EuroLeague.
Yes, that's what I'm talking. In EuroLeague, it's very important to be ready in the right moment. Of course, all games are important, but if you are ready at the right moment in your best game condition and in your best psychology with no injuries, that also injuries are
The most important.
the most important, then you have the experienced players, you have the quality, you are one of the favorites to succeed.
What do you think of Kaunas hosting the Final Four?
Look, Lithuania is a basketball city. Kaunas is a basketball country, sorry. Kaunas is a basketball city. And I think that they will host a very good Final Four. The arena is amazing. And they love basketball. For them, it's the first sport in the country. And I think they will do a great job. Look, the most important thing for me, for a success, whatever you do, is to love what you're doing. If you love what you are doing, you will succeed. And they love basketball, so I think they will succeed with the organization of the Final Four.
Logistically, it might not be easy for all the fans, you know, not many hotels and everything.
I know,
but
there are
might be
some
problems, but as you said,
you can
they will
stay in
have
Vilnius. You can stay in Vilnius 1 hour, you know.
You will have the
if you want
soul.
to go, and if you will succeed to go.
Yeah. What about Dubai? There were a lot of talks about a new Dubai team. EuroLeague GMs went there, shareholders went there, had a meeting, and maybe in the future we will see one team from
yes,
Dubai.
These are the rumors now, and we don't have facts.
Yes, of course.
Really
but
now.
There's the fact that we know that there was a meeting.
Yes, there was a meeting, but after the meeting we don't know what the new facts, let's say, what the new procedure.
Are you open for this kind of expand in
I
EuroLeague?
think yes. I think yes. Wherever is a chance to have good conditions for a team, let's say also Dubai now, but we can have if the conditions are good, also in London. I don't know,
maybe
some
Doha
other countries.
also over there.
Doha, yes. There are a lot of options that I think it's good for the basketball to have better quality, because for us that we are involved, for the players, for everybody, it's very important, let's say, the quality around the teams, about the league, the stadiums, the fans, the airports, the hotels, everything to be high level, because you have to understand that we are always with one suitcase, and sometimes you have to travel day by day.
Sometimes you forget where did you wake up.
You wake up, and in the first seconds you don't know where you wake up, in which country, in which city, and that's why all the conditions around should be the best. Like in NBA. In NBA, let's say they don't have passport control, they don't have luggage control. They go straight to the
with their private
to the
charters,
plane,
yeah.
to the private charter by bus to the plane. They get in and they fly. So they want to minimize all the fatigue and the tiredness with these conditions, and I think this is what we should do with all these new teams, and whenever they can give these conditions, I think they should be acceptable.
Let's see, Coach. Do you have any other messages to basketball fans here in Turkey?
Look, Turkey is very traditionally basketball country, and I made two clinics here. One in Istanbul when I was in Olympiacos for the Association of the Turkish Coaches, and one in through Zoom, and I enjoy them a lot.
Also, you had this Antalya last summer.
Yes,
so
also in Antalya. yes. In Antalya was something more international.
Yes.
I'm talking about just specifically
for
Turkish
coach,
coaches. Was excellent, and I want to thank them for the invitation. I think they are very good coaches. They work really good. The results we can see always young players good. You know, I think the whole system, not only the coaches, needs to trust the young players. And as I said before, we need to be patient with them. And good luck to all of them, and good luck also to Turkish teams.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you for accepting our invitation.
No, it's my honor to be here with you, and thank you for the invitation. I'm very happy that I'm here with you.
Thank you. Evet, Koç Ioannis Sfairopoulos'la basketbol sohbetimizi burada noktalıyoruz. beIN Sports'un farklı kanallarında basketbol heyecanı devam edecek. Şimdilik hoşçakalın.